Hey, everybody, it's John Moore with the Texas College Football Show. This is the Week 14 countdown. We're going to go through this pretty quick and get this. Hey, we are heading into rivalry weekend. This is the last regular season countdown heading into it. We'll obviously do a final countdown next week. Not the final. We'll do a countdown next week. And then we'll do a final one at the end of the year once all the playoffs and national championships are over with. We're going to keep you up to date also on all the coaching changes, all of that. We'll do recruiting. We're going to start to try to do a high school show. Taylor is putting that together with Fanatics View. Hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a like. This thing's starting to catch on a little bit. It's new, and we're going to have more guests. We're actually we're credentialed now for a lot of places. We're going to start meeting some of these coaches, players, and try to get more people on and do more interview type stuff. And we're going to get that going. But we've been doing the countdown since the beginning. Don't forget how we do that. I'm going to show you what I predicted last week, what we did, how we did for the week. Then I'm going to always show you what I did at the beginning of the season and where we're sitting. Let's go to how we did last week. Last week was week 13. We were 8-4 overall for the season. I am 143. Now, that is not against the line. That is just win or loss. So it's pretty easy to maintain that. But at the beginning of the year, I'll go back and show what I kind of had for each team at the beginning of the year. I've done some really well. I've done others where I've just totally missed the mark on all of that. And this is going to be a progress as we go forward. Let's start out at number 13. We start at 13, count down to number 1. There's not a lot that has changed this week. A couple of them flip spots and stuff like that. I didn't mark it on here, but one of them, it's the closest I've come this season to getting a score right. And we'll get to that one in a little bit. Number 13 is Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State lost to Middle Tennessee 31-17. They're 2-9 overall, 1-6. That was a hit for me on what they did this week on the Saturday. They're playing Florida International at noon. It's on ESPN+. Florida International's picked to win this game by 10.5 points. It's 51.5 over under. Personally, UTEP, so not UTEP, that's Sam Houston. This is Sam Houston, by the way. I'm not confident. Phil Longo just unfortunately has not had it going this year. He hadn't had his players. It is his first season. But I'm going to go with this one. FIU is going to beat this one, and they're not going to quite cover, but I got Sam Houston finishing the season 2-10. At the end of the year, they're going to lose 28-17. Let's look at the beginning of the year where I thought they were going to be. Sorry, guys, I need a glass of water there. I thought they were going to be 7-5. I was off. I am 5-6 for the season. I am probably going to end up 6-6 because I had, I'm going to end up 5-7 because I had them beating Florida International at the beginning of the year. You get somewhat of a pass. If you think the seat's not heating up at Sam Houston, you're crazy. But you get somewhat of a pass when your very first season. It's not a lot of your players. When you get hired, that's kind of the way that goes. Let's go to number 12. Number 12 is UTEP. UTEP, last week they lost to New Mexico State University 34-31. They are 2-9 overall, 1-6. This was a miss. I thought they were going to beat New Mexico State last week, and they ended up losing this Saturday. They're at Delaware at noon. It's on ESPN+. Delaware is picked to win this one by 5.5 points. 54.5 over under, and Scotty Walden is not having as good a year as he wanted. He did good in the transfer portal. He got Malachi Nelson. That didn't work out. I think they're gonna lose to Delaware this week, 28-21. What did I have them doing at the beginning of the year? Well, I was optimistic. I thought they were going to go 6-6. Looks like they are going to end up at 2-10. So I was off on that one. I'm 5-6 for the season, and that's what you get for being aggressive. I was aggressive on this one too. Let's get to number 11. Number 11 is Texas State, another team that has just struggled. Last week they beat University of Louisiana Monroe 31-14, one of their best offensive putouts this year. Overall, they're 5-6. They're 2-5 in the Southwest on the Sun Belt Conference. This was a hit for me. This Saturday, they're playing Southern Alabama. They're hosting Southern Alabama at 2 p.m. It's on ESPN+. Texas State is picked to win this one by 9.5 points, 62.5 over under. I've got Texas State winning this one 34-20. So they're not quite going to, or they're going to cover on this one. I think they're starting to figure out some things on offense. We'll see. GJ Kinney was a hot name. A lot of people thought might be going somewhere. This season has not proved well for him, and he has not made well on those what we thought. Beginning of the year, I had them going 9-3. I was off on the 9-3. I'm 8-3 for the season with them. This week I have a win, so I might end up 9-3, which isn't completely bad. Now let's go to the top 10. Rice University. Rice University has dropped one. They lost to UNT 56-24. They're 5-6 overall, which is a lot better than I thought they were going to be. 2-5 in the American Conference. This was a hit. This week they're playing at South Florida. They're going to get beat by South Florida, and they're going to get beat pretty bad. They just don't have the offense to do it. Scotty Abel's done a good job. They're as good as you can do with the parameters he's set with. This is a school that does have higher academic standards for players coming in. It's as close to Ivy League without being Ivy League as they are. They will be playing on ESPN Plus. University of South Florida's picked to win by 27.5. I've got them not quite covering that, but University of South Florida should win this one 45-20 is what I have them doing on that. For the season, I had Rice only winning 4 games. They've already won 5. There is a chance they could upset South Florida, but I don't think so. I'm 10-1 for the season on my predictions. So I've done well here, and I have got this one as a loss. I'm going to end up good with that one at 11-1. But I'm pretty proud of the way these guys did this year. It kind of went right in line with everything I thought, except the beginning of the year when they beat Louisiana. Let's go to number 9. Another team that is disappointed, UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio. They beat East Carolina 58-24. They're starting to figure out some things. They are now bowl eligible. They're 6-5. They're 4-3 in the AC. This was a miss. This week they are hosting Army at 2:30 on ESPN Plus. UTSA is picked to win 65 by 6.5 points, 52.5 over. I think they're going to win this game. I don't know if they'll allow Army to score enough to cover that spread. I think UTSA is going to win this one 34-14. They have started Owen McCown, and everyone has really started to pick up on that offense finally, which was what they were going to be known for this year. That offense was going to be good. I had them going 7-5 at the beginning of the year. I'm 8-3 overall. I think that I'm going to end up 9-3 because I did have. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to end up 8-4 if they end up winning like they should. I had that as a loss to Army, who had a good season last year. Let's go to number 8. Number 8, Baylor Bears lost to Arizona 41-17. They're 5-6 overall, 3-5 in the Big 12. This was a hit. I did have them losing. Guys, they ended up coming out already and saying that Dave Aranda is coming back next year. This is a little bit surprising to me. I was not expecting that. I got to be honest with you. I didn't see Dave Aranda surviving. A lot of people picked Baylor to compete for the Big 12. They have not done what they thought. Hey, I guess it's to shore up some of the recruits. I've already seen where one defensive end who was a recruit, who's been a recruit for a long time, was waiting on Dave Aranda to see if he's going to be back to keep his commitment, but he is a target for Texas on a flip. Excuse me. This week they host Houston at 11 a.m. on TNT. Baylor is picked by 2.5 points against Houston at 61.5. The one thing, Baylor's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Their offense can go crazy one week and not the other. I think this is a week they end up scoring. Houston has struggled the last couple of weeks, although Willie Fritz has got that team going. I think Baylor's going to win this one 24-21. Beginning of the year, I had them going 6-6. I'm 7-4 on that. They have a chance to go 6-6 if they win this game this week and remain bowl eligible. We'll see what happens there. Let's go to number 7. University of Houston. We already saw what we're going to do there. They're hosting them. We've already picked that. This last week, they lost to TCU 17-14 in a close one. I missed this one. I thought they were going to win this one. This is a school that's done good. They're 8-3 overall. They're 5-3 in the Big 12. Willie Fritz has done a great job since this second season there. So is Connor Wigman. He's had a pretty good year there. Former 5-star from Texas A&M. I like the University of Houston, but what did I have them doing at the beginning of the year? Had them going 7-5. They've surpassed that. I think they've got a loss this week. I could end up 9-3 on that one. But I have changed some things during the season. Let's go to number 6. Number 6, TCU Horned Frogs, who beat Houston 17-14, 7-4 overall. They are 4-4 in the Big 12. This was a miss. I thought they were going to lose to Houston. This week they host Cincinnati at 2:30. TCU's picked to win this one by 4.5. Cincinnati, who some were thought might pull an upset last week, they're not going to pull an upset this week either. I think TCU wins this one 31-27. TCU's got another coach on the hot seat. I think Sonny Dykes is going to be really warm going into next season. Where did I have them? I had them going 8-4. They are close. If they win this week, they will be 8-4. That's exactly how I picked them, but I had them. They ended up beating Iowa State, and I thought that was they lost to Iowa State, and I thought they were going to win that one at the beginning of the year, and they ended up beating SMU, and I thought that was going to be a loss also. So that's where that ends on there. I'm 9-2 for the season. Let's go to the top five. Top five. Number 5, SMU beat Louisville 38-6. This was close. Good Lord. They blew them out. I thought this was going to be a close game. I did pick it to win. I picked them to beat Louisville. They're 8-3 overall, 6-1, and they have an outside shot at the ACC, guys. They've got a couple things that got to happen. This might be one of your playoff teams. I don't know. They've really turned it on. They signed Rhett Lashley to a long extension. They are now they're not going to be a 3-loss team. I guess if they win the conference, there's an outside chance as a 3-loss team. I think the ACC might be in danger of not having anybody make the playoffs. They are this week. They are at Cal at 7 p.m. who just fired their head coach. SMU is picked to win by 13.5. I think SMU is going to win. I think they're going to win by 21 points. SMU 31, Cal 10 with an interim head coach as they start their search for a new coach going forward. I had them going 10-2 at the end of the year. I was off by that. I'm 6-5 so far. I can end up 7-5. I think SMU's a little bit disappointed. I thought, last year they made the CFP. I thought they really had a chance this year to make it. We're getting into the top 4 and a team that really does have an outside shot at making the playoffs this year. North Texas. North Texas beat Rice 56-24. Wow, that was huge. This was a hit for me. They're 10-1, 6-1 overall. They are going to be really good chance of playing for the American Conference. No, they play Temple this week at 2:30 Central on ESPN. UNT is picked to win by 19.5 points. It's 65.5 over under. My prediction, UNT is going to win this one 41-24 and make it to the American Conference Championship. If they end up winning that, they're going to be the team that's going to make it at the at-large, to tell you the truth. What did I do at the beginning of the year? I had them going 7-5, and I was off. I'm 7-4 for the season on that. I should end up 8-4 on this one. I got to tell you right now, enjoy Eric Morris. He's gone, one way or the other. He's going to get an Arkansas job or he's going to get the Oklahoma State job. One of those two, I believe, is going to get. There's no reason for him to stay. He is looking for a bigger payday, and I think he's going to get it. Number 3 is the Texas Longhorns. They beat Arkansas 52-37 in a dominant game, one of the most dominant performances they've had. A few late points by Arkansas at the end of the game, but they were subbing in some people there. Overall, they are 8-3. They're 5-2 in the SEC. It is a hit. Do they have a chance to make the playoffs? Very slim. And look, I will argue all day long for Texas. I will argue that they should make the playoffs all day long, but when you're having to beg for it and you're dependent on a lot of other people, it means you've lost too many games to do that. So I don't think that they are going to do that this week. They November 28th, they're playing A&M this Friday. Obviously, at 6:30 p.m. On ABC. Texas A&M's picked by 2.5 at 51.5. I think this one sets up good. Now, this is a lot of homer call here. I'm not afraid to admit a homer call on that. Texas should win this one. I've got them picked to win it by 13. I just think if they do anything like they did with Marcel, ended up with South Carolina, and I'm hopeful. My gut tells me A&M's the better team, but my homer call thinks that Texas will win this one, and I've got it 34-21. Look, I had them going undefeated at the beginning of the year. I'm 8-3 on this one. If they beat A&M, I would end up 9-3, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs on this one. Number 2 is Texas Tech. They had a bye last week. This week they host West Virginia, 11 a.m. on ABC. They're picked to win by 23.5 points, 53.5 over and under. I think they're going to beat this one. They're going to win that one pretty handily. They'll play in the Big 12 championship game. Big 12's got a lot of questions on whether or not two teams can make that team or not. I don't know. I got to be honest with you. It's look, Texas, impressive team, but their offense has not been tested yet. Their defense is good. I just don't see. Look, they're going to be picked. They're going to make the playoffs, or they should, especially if they beat by BYU the way they did earlier in the season. That loss to Arizona State is a bad one. And you can talk about a backup quarterback or whatever, but I think that Tech will beat BYU and make it, but I don't think they're going to go far unless they play a G5 school or maybe the ACC if they get someone in. Other than that, they'll be picked to lose against anybody they play. They're not going to be picked over anybody on the ACC. They're not going to be picked over anybody in the SEC, and I don't think they have the offense against a good defense to do that. Number one, and staying at number one, and this is my 5-star pick. Look at that. They beat Samford 48-0. I had them picked 48-3. That's the closest I've come all year to picking it exactly. The reason I picked that, I said I didn't have a clue. Knew they were going to win big, and I knew at some point they were going to start pulling people. And so they could have probably beat them 80-0, but they pulled everyone out like they should. They're resting for this week. They're 11-0, 7-0 in the SEC. This was a hit for me. They play Texas this Friday. What do I expect? I'm going with the homer call. I think Texas wins. They're picked by 2.5 this Friday night. It's fun to have this game back in there. I just, I'm being homer, that's for sure. And I think Texas, but I do think Texas can win this game. But your gut tells you wouldn't be surprised if A&M does as good as they've been. But I got to tell you right now, I'm going with my heart, and my heart tells me that Texas pulls this one out to give any hope they have of making the college football playoffs, and about 800 other things having to happen. They might be the 1 3-loss team that if they beat Texas A&M convincingly can convince some of those people in the playoff in the college football the people that make the picks there that the committee, they might be willing to look at something like that. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Next week we'll follow up after the rivalry week is over. Guys, we appreciate it. Until next time, we'll see you on the gridiron.